You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you to the Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir, Leigh's Path. So guys, let's go ahead and jump right in, shall we? Had some, delicious imagery in the last video, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Alarmson, you are up, and let's go. Alrighty. He stretches up, and his exposed muscles tense in a way that catches my eye and forces me to look up to try and avoid gawking at his defined body. Oscar might have more muscle, but there's something about the strength hidden in Leigh's lean form that takes my breath away. And not until moments like these that you can see the amount of work his body's gone through. By the time I'm looking about, there's a smile on his face and a smugness in his eyes that I've rarely ever seen in his eyes. Did he do that on purpose to see if I'd check him out? There's no way. That's something he'd tell Oscar off for doing. I don't mind the staring, but be careful when you're around her, for your sake. For your sake, kid. She won't let it go if she catches you. Right. Come on, let's get back out here before she gets the wrong idea. When she gets something in her mind, she won't let it go. That rings a bell in my head. Reminds me of something Charlie mentioned early on that had gone completely ignored. Wait, she mentioned you've been wanting to invite me over. Is that true? Yeah, she's been badgering me about you visiting, and I can't turn her down. Despite making a lot of sense, he sounds a bit more nervous than he has about anything else since I entered. There must be a lot more to this than I expected. I have the feeling Charlie won't be as opposed to telling the truth. Okay, we need to go now. I need to take the food out of the oven soon, and I haven't started on the salad yet. With a gentle push towards the door, we head back out to the side of Charlie, hanging off the front of the sofa upside down, her phone in front of her face. She looks to have finished laughing. The door closing makes enough of a sound to get her attention, and she swings around to look at the two of us with such speed. I get dizzy just thinking about the blood rushing through her head. You two took a long time. Yeah, did you guys have a little heart-to-heart, or something a little more exciting? Oscar's voice is coming through the phone as clearly as always, and his comment brings a cackle to both of them. Whoa, I thought you were gonna get changed. I didn't think you'd give us more of a show. Damn, man, you look good. Wallace is a lucky guy. He's usually like this. He never wears any shirts around the house, even when we live with our parents. Looks like I need to visit sometime. Leigh, looking more like his usual self, gives off the impression of being unfazed by their comments as he heads into the kitchen. But he does take the time to slip them the middle finger. Slipping them the middle finger is a lot different. Both of them gasp and look at each other, Charlie turning the phone towards her for dramatic effect. It's hard to not find the two of them incredibly charming together. Seeing me alone, they look at me like I'm some meat ready to be devoured, and it's not like I can correct them. Unlike Leigh, I don't have anything better to be doing. Get over here! Get over here! The rest of the night was simultaneously full of way too much excitement for me, but also very mundane. It reminded me of the sleepovers I used to have back in elementary school. Marcus and I would order pizza, and all of our friends would talk as late as possible until we were forced to go to sleep by Mom or Dad. After Leigh finished with dinner, he made Charlie hang up, and we chatted while we ate. He's a much better cook than I was expecting, and the atmosphere while eating was cheerier than I'd experienced in a long time. It was mostly filled with Charlie gushing about her day, or trying to prod the two of us about what our day entailed. It's not like we could have told her about the nightmare. I'd almost forgotten about how much of a distraction she's been. The only time Leigh really entered the conversation was when she tried to prod me about having any boyfriends or about any hot guys I liked. He shut her down, but the cackle she gave makes me think that it was intentional. He seems hell-bent on teasing me, especially after she caught me accidentally staring at Leigh's tattoo on his lower back when he leaned over to place the room onto the table. Okay. Wow, he's really strong then. After we finished eating, Charlie disappeared into her room and locked the door behind her. She only opened it back to give Leigh something thin and black. I hid it from view the moment he got his hands on it, passing me a quick glance to see if I was staring in the process. If I wasn't suspicious beforehand, the waggle of Charlie's eyebrows was more than enough of a hint that this was something he didn't want me to find out about. It was long after that when he disappeared into the bathroom to take a shower. I expected him to come out with his pants on, but it looks like coming out in just a towel runs in the family. He grabbed the blanket that was lying across the far sofa, blending in with its similar light blue color. It was a proper thick blanket unlike my own, something much more suited for the autumn weather. I wasn't about to complain, though. They'd already been more than hospitable. There had been a strange moment after he finished the bed where he hesitated getting inside of it, refusing to remove the towel still wrapped around his waist. Instead, he turned everything off until he had to use his phone to light light up the way to the couch before he undressed and got into bed. I had thought he might just sleep naked, but he assured me he doesn't. He just sleeps in his underwear, which isn't too weird of a thing to do. I guess he just didn't want me to see. There's nothing wrong about that. It's just strange that he'd do so after being so unfazed about people seeing his body in other ways. He didn't even look bashful about it. He looked worried. But thoughts about that quickly disappeared as I slid under my blanket for the night and quickly came across a problem as the minutes rolled by. The night was a lot colder than I had been expecting. It's outright freezing. I've wrapped myself into a cocoon of wool, but I can still feel myself shivering. I'm not sure what to do. It's not like they have another blanket around, or else they would have given it to me in the first place. It's clear this isn't meant to be used alone. It's likely Leigh used it on top of what he already has on him. I'm trying to rub the fur on my thighs together for warmth, but it only helps so much, and it's making quite a bit of noise. I just have the hope my body heat warms up enough to let me fall asleep. Kid, you okay? You're shaking like a leaf. It's just really cold. Yeah, tonight's freezing. Winter might be getting here early. He pauses. I can't see his face, but I can feel the uncertainty coming from the darkness in his direction. Hey kid, if you want, you can sleep over here with me. It's much warmer under this. There's not a lot of room though, so you'll have to press up to me. Have to press up to him? He's basically asking me to cuddle him. I can't deny that the offer isn't appealing, and I can feel the blood rushing to my head, as well as a bit of it rushing somewhere else. But this feels childish to do. He's already treating me like a kid. I don't think I should be encouraging that, even if this will be the best for both of us. Oh, fuck yeah, I'm gonna accept that. What the hell's wrong with you? Okay. My voice cracks and I have to cover my mouth out of worry that it might wake up Charlie. My face was already burning at the prospect of climbing into sleep with Leigh, but now it feels on fire. Don't worry about her. She'll sleep through anything. I don't trust myself to reply, so I just climb out of my bed with the blanket wrapped around me. I don't have anything to hide since I'm still clothed. It was much too cold to undress. The room is still pitch black. The only thing I can see is the distant blinking light of the television and the digital clock on the microwave. I have to shuffle my way in the direction of Leigh's voice. I can't remember if the table is settled in between them enough for me to walk into it, so I move at a snail's pace. Then I remember that I have a phone on me and I don't have to be wandering around in total darkness. I'm gonna turn on my phone. It'll be bright. He just gives me an approving huff as his only reply, and with a press of a button, light bursts through the room. It illuminates enough for me to see that the sofa is only a couple steps away. Leigh's a sharp contrast to myself. He looks unbothered with the way his shoulders and the top of his chest are peeking out of the top of the blanket. His face is calm and more concerned with my well-being, unlike my blazing red-hot face. You should get undressed. It might be cold, but being under here with someone else will get hot fast. Trust me. I try to ignore the rapidly increasing dryness of my mouth as I attempt to pull off my clothes under the blanket. The cold is nowhere near as strong a deterrent than my own shyness at exposing my body. Wallace, you don't have to hide from me. I won't judge. Hearing him use my name makes my stomach twist into knots, and I have no choice but to obey. I don't think I can think properly on my own right now. It doesn't take me too long to strip down to my underwear, but the knowledge that I'm under Leigh's gaze, which he refuses to look away for even a second, sends a thrill through my spine. Ooh, boy. You boys are getting busy. Come on, get in. He lifts the blanket and reveals more than I was ever expecting to see. I've seen his shirtless form multiple times, but this time, he's wearing almost nothing. Oh my god! Ooh! Only a single piece of underwear. A thong. And my brain instantly recognized it as the thin black cloth that Charlie slipped out to Leigh before his shower. Was he trying to hide this from me? Leigh? The guy who has no qualms about what people think? I glance up to his face confirms this. He's keeping his face mostly neutral, but I can see the redness in his ears and the light pinkening of his skin through the gaps of his fur. He still holds my gaze, never faltering or looking away, even as my own eyes can't stop themselves from darting across his body. His legs are just as wide and full of power as I expected. There's a strength and muscle there that's hidden by his lean body structure. The main thing that catches my eye, other than his very defined bulge from his tight underwear, is the intense scarring around his knee. At first I thought it was a single scar, but it looks like multiple large scars circling around it. Whatever happened to it was really, really bad. You're gonna freeze out there. Get in. His grumbling snaps me out of my daze, thankfully before I made an utter fool of myself. The heat on both of our faces has increased even more, but he doesn't comment on it. I slide under the blanket, and he doesn't waste any time covering the two of us. The heat that comes with it is near instant. I have to stop myself from letting out a moan of delight. In an attempt to keep some level of dignity and stop my body from losing complete control, I try to keep some distance between us. But that plan is thwarted as Leigh reaches his now free hand over my chest and pulls me against him. His heat is immeasurable, and his short, rough fur against my back is enough to make me shudder. I'm using all of my willpower to not think about his warm jewelry and his navel tickling my lower back. I can already feel the blood rushing down my body, but I can't bring attention to it, though I get the feeling Leigh already knows what's happening. Just calm down. It's normal. Jesus Christ, you're freezing. And what must be an attempt to ruin any hope of keeping my composure, he curls his body around me, surrounding me with a vortex of heat and fur. The sensation causes my whole body to tingle. Leigh? Just don't stress it, Wallace. Just relax and try to sleep. I don't respond other than a small nod, that I doubt even he can see. I'm not even able to rest my head on the pillow with how much he's covering me, opting instead for his right bicep. It's a lot more firm and comfortable than I thought, but thoughts about it are ejected from my head as he lays his chin against my forehead, his lower jaw and throat pressed against mine. I can feel his heartbeat and breathing reverberate through my skull. It should be distracting, but it's like a metronome, lulling me into a hypnotic embrace. Despite the whirlwind of sensations in my body, I find myself falling into the sweet darkness of sleep, feeling safer than I have in a long time. I'm gonna pause it right here. Save that right there. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, let's see what it says. Thank you so much for reading the latest build of Violet Memoir. I hope all you Leigh fans were excited to get a little taste of our favorite possum. Hope to see near the end there we'll get a CG eventually. Oh boy. All things must come to an end though, and the next build will be a return to Lucas, and will come near to the end of this month. Hopefully on time for once. So if you have anything you want to report, please let me know on our post or our Discord's feedback room. As usual, don't forget to follow. We have a Discord. Okay, Memoir, playing formations for your support. Sweet! Alright! Awesome, guys. Okay, that is the end of Leigh's path for now, so we'll be going back to Lucas. Alright, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or a tip if you can, it always helps. And until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!